Atulita baladhamam hemashailaabadeham danujavana jnaninamagraganyam sakala gunanidhanam vanaranamadisham Raghupati priya bhaktam vatajatam namami. Raghupati priya bhaktam vatajatam namami. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Children, we all want success, isn't it? We all want to be good in our studies. We aim for high goals. We want to do something great in our life, or whatever small we want to do, or big we want to do. We want to be successful in that. And do you know from whom I learned the secret of success? Guess. One who whatever he set out to do, he did better than what he planned to do. And it is not that he did not have any difficulties, challenges, obstacles in his way. But when we face life, we should never let our mind continue to think about failure. We must think on how we can make it happen. And in spite of any difficulties, challenges that come on the way, any obstacles that come on the way, obstacles means any block that comes on our way, we should be able to reach our goal. And you know, that's why I said, think. From whom I learned the secret that how to not stop till you reach your goal. Our scriptures like the Upanishads, like the Ramayana, and our Gurudev, and even Swami Vivekananda said, arise, awake, and stop not till you reach your goal. And that secret I learned on how to do it, how to face any difficulties and challenges in our life from none other than Hanuman. And one of Hanumanji's bestest stories that I love and actually everybody enjoys is that when Hanumanji crossed the ocean to find Mother Sita. Ramchandraji had given them this project to all the monkeys and the vanaras, that you have to find Mother Sita and bring her news to me. The monkeys set out with great courage, great confidence, great enthusiasm, great spirit. In fact, on the way, if they saw any Rakshasa, they would catch that Rakshasa and say, that's Ravan, beat him up. And if that Rakshas fell down, they said, nah, he can't be Ravan is too powerful. And finally, when they reached the shores of Bharat, of India, at that time Lanka was 800 miles across the ocean. all the monkeys sat down and thought, how can we cross this ocean? Somebody said, I can jump 8 feet. But somebody said that 8 feet, we have to go 800 miles. Somebody said, I can jump 100 feet. But if 100 feet you jump into the ocean, you go just into the deep ocean. Somebody said, I can jump a mile. Somebody said, I can jump 10 miles. Somebody said, I can jump 30 miles. Finally, the son of Vali, Angad, said, and he was the young prince, he said, I think I can go 800 miles to Lanka, but I'm not sure if I can come back. Now all of the monkeys sat down thinking, I cannot do it. But while all the monkeys were thinking how much they can do and how they cannot do this much, Hanumanji was silent. But the big bear, Jambavan, went to Hanumanji and said, Hanuman, why are you quiet? You are the son of Pavan Devata. Your strength is like the wind. And your birth itself has been to do Ramchandraji's work. And no work, big or small, you cannot do. And the moment Jamban told him that Ramchandraji's work has to be done, however big it might seem, however impossible it might seem, Hanumanji stood up and suddenly reminded of his powers. And do you know, children, as children, you have got lots of powers. You have plenty of power. But a lot of our power goes in mischief, in doing naughty things that we are constantly told, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. And we forget how much energy, how much power, how much curiosity we have to do new things. And as we grow up, we forget all that. And then we think, I can't do this, I can't do that. But as children, we have got lots of powers. And if you just remind yourself how you could do so many things, how you could learn so many things, how much you have developed yourself as a child. Not what you were told you can't do, you can't do, you can't do. Hanumanji at that moment did not think, I can't do it. Reminded by Jambavan that as a child, you always thought you can do everything. But you have to do it intelligently. That's why parents sometimes stop you, because you could harm yourself. However, do not stop to think that you can. Whatever needs to be done, you can. Don't do foolish things and then hurt yourself. But whatever, that if you have to study and you have to gain knowledge and you have to excel, you have to do very good, then know that you can. And when Hanumanji was reminded by Jamban that he can, Hanumanji became huge and big. And he first bow down to Jamban and all the elders. When we take the blessings of our elders, greeted everyone who were there and those who were of his age. He won their goodwill, good wishes. And those who were the little ones, he got their love and admiration. And with these blessings, he stood like a mountain and saying, Siyavar Ramachandra ki. You have to say Jai. Siyavar Ramachandra ki. Jai. Everybody said. And Hanumanji jumped into the sky and he was moving with such speed. The speed of the wind in a storm, in a hurricane, in a cyclone. With that speed he was moving. Even flash cannot move at that speed. He was moving at that speed, and suddenly on the way there stood a huge mountain. And on this mountain was a very comfortable, luxurious, beautiful resort. And the manager of the resort was very grateful for Pavan Devta, the wind, to bring all the flights in that direction. He saw Pavana Sutta, the son of Pavan Hanumanji, coming, and he has a long journey in front of him. That manager of the mountain called out to Hanuman and said, Hanuman, you have a long journey in front of you. Why don't you take a break, have a Kit Kat? Now, when you have a lot to study and you have a lot to do and you have a long journey in front of you, or something that is after a long time you have to get, you think, why not I just rest? And you have to rest when you have to go to sleep. But take a break. That's the first challenge, first blockage that stops us from reaching our goal. Because when we take a break, then very often we cannot start again. But look at Hanumanji's love to do Ramchandraji's work and to reach Mother Sita, that he folded his hand, was thankful to Menak Parvat for giving him place to take a break, rest for a while. But once we become too comfortable, we're not ready to move ahead and work. But he kept that spirit in his mind that I have to finish Ramchandraji's work. And with that dedication, Hanumanji could resist this big temptation of enjoying himself when work has to be done. Hanumanji was grateful to him, but he says, Ram kaj kiye binu mohi kaha vishram. Till I finish Ramchandraji's work, I will not rest. And as our Gurudev said, that when it's time to work and you take this break, if you rest, you rust. And Hanumanji went flying at great speed. Somebody said, what is that? Is it a meteorite? Is it a plane? Is it a bird? Is it Superman? But we know it is Hanuman. And Hanuman went flying. And now suddenly something unique happened. There, the mother of snakes, Mrs. Auntie Snake, she actually had come there to test Hanumanji. Because you just do not have to have the enthusiasm, the spirit. You don't even have to just have the strength and the feeling I can. You must also be clever, because sometimes on the way there are people who come to fight with you, to challenge you. And every time we should not get into a fight, because if we get into a fight all the time, then we are busy fighting, we don't reach our goal. It becomes impossible to reach our goal, what we are looking for, what we are searching for, what we want to gain. Hanumanji was flying at great speed, and suddenly the snake, huge snake, Sursa was her name, like and she came and stood in front of Hanumanji, and she said, ha ha ha, it seems that God has sent me my food. And see, Hanumanji is always fair. Somebody or something is somebody's food. You eat sometimes some children of other animals. Now, she said, you are my food. Otherwise, Hanumanji would have fought with her. But Hanumanji said, at the moment, I can't afford to become your food. So please, please let me go. First, he pleaded. Then he said, for Ramchandraji's sake, I have to do his work. She still did not stop. Then he said, please, if I tell you, Mother Sita is in trouble, she is sad, she is in distress. Please, let me get her message to Ramchandraji so that he can come there. She is waiting for him to come. Please, may I go? But she said, no, I am going to eat you up. Hanumanji used his brains, used his intellect. That she is trying to bully me and says, I'm going to eat you up, I'm going to eat you up, I'm going to eat you up. If she really wanted to eat me up, when somebody is really hungry, they're not going to question, they're just going to do it. If somebody wants to beat you up, he's not going to tell you, I'm going to beat you up, beat you up. You don't have to be afraid of that person. Hanumanji said, you want to eat me up? Then eat me up. And Hanumanji became twice his size. She opened her mouth even bigger. Hanumanji became even bigger. She opened her mouth even bigger. Hanumanji became even bigger. She opened her mouth even bigger and bigger. Like that, Hanumanji became 800 miles tall, and she opened her big mouth even bigger than that. And Hanumanji thought, now how long this is going to go on? She shows her pride, she shows her power, I show my pride, I show my power. And I will not be able to go and do Ramchandraji's work. And therefore, every time you do not get into a fight, nor every time you show off, Hanumanji said, this is not going to end. He had said that I will get into your mouth. Now whether she eats him or not, that's a different story. So Hanumanji said she is not giving up. So while she had opened her mouth so big, Hanumanji became so small and went into her mouth. And by the time she could shut her big mouth, Hanumanji went like a fly into her mouth, and by the time she could shut her mouth, he came outside. This if in India when you come, no, and you eat pani puri, golgappa, you open your mouth big. Meanwhile the flies are there, go inside and come out. They don't like your breath anyway, so they come out. Hanumanji went into her mouth and came out. And by the time she could shut her mouth, Hanumanji said, see, as I promised, I went into your mouth. You could not eat me. Now may I go? And Sursa said, Hanuman, I came here only to test you. Sometimes in life, situations come to test us, whether from nature, whether from God. And those tests are not to make us fail, but to prepare us for greater work, greater examinations that we have to face in our life. Hanumanji used his intellect, did not get into a fight, did not keep showing his power and strength, but kept his mind with love, devotion to his goal, became humble and small and very clever. Ati chatur. He got out of her mouth, got out of that situation. Otherwise, sometimes because of our ego, we are busy fighting. But the work that we have to do, we forget. This was the test for Hanumanji. And he passed that test wiser, stronger, and now, without wasting time, faster. Now when he was moving faster, suddenly as though he was being pulled by some power, and zwing, he was brought into the ocean. But he had been warned by Sugriv that there Ravana's sister Sinika lives there. And she has the power to catch anybody who's flying up like with remote control and pull that person down. And she then devours them, eats them up. And when she saw the cute and strong Hanuman, she swam towards him with her mouth open like a shark. And before she could devour him, Hanumanji hit her and she fell down. And Hanumanji came out from the ocean with a splash and went flying to Lanka. And one of the things that we have to face in our life, when we are flying high, when we are doing well, there are people who will get jealous of us. And sometimes we get jealous of people who are doing better than us. And that jealousy eats you up. Therefore, Hanumanji did not give in to this jealousy. Don't show off in such a way that other people feel jealous of you. At the same time, don't be jealous of people who are doing better of you. In fact, admire them so that you can become like them. Not be jealous that you are not like them and they are better than you. Therefore, Hanumanji gave no place to jealousy. Like Sursa, he didn't play around with her. He just at that moment, the moment jealousy comes, that jealousy must be immediately removed from you. It will come. Others also might feel jealous. But you try not to make people jealous, and at the same time, when jealousy comes, it will come. you turn it into admiration and finish off that jealousy inside you. Say, no, I'm not going to be jealous. I'm going to work to be better. And Hanumanji reached Lanka, and there he found Mother Sita. And that Mother Sita, who had stayed strong there, facing Ravana and not giving into any of his offers of pleasure, gave her the news that Ramchandraji is coming. And you just take the name of Ram. Keep remembering as you are remembering Ram. Ram is definitely coming to you. Happiness is coming back to you. And those who can cross over these three, face all the difficulties, problems, challenges, as well as temptations and comforts, and comfortably reach your goal, your destination. What good you want to do, you can achieve. Bolo Pavan Sutta Hanuman ki Jai. We'll chant Hanumanji's mantra, and he is the messenger of Ram. And if you always remember that you are also messenger of Ram, you are the ambassador of Ram. You are here to do Ramchandraji's big, great work. Then, even like Hanumanji, you will become great. Atulita Baladhama. You will be a person of incomparable strength. Nobody can compare to Hanumanji's strength. Nobody will be able to compare to your strength. Nobody could compare to what Hanumanji did. Nobody will be able to compare what you did. Yeah? Or what you can do. So face life with courage, with patience, with faith, and with dedication and devotion. Om Shri Ramadutaya Namaha. 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 Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.